one legendary Power Fist I've found, and the legendary one was on Swan, but I don't need it. So yeah, I love Dwarf Fortress. So here's the quest we're doing is Vault 75. It's just like explore the vault. Honestly, it's just like let's kill everybody in the vault. I mean, I think the real purpose of it is like reading all the info on the vault. I'm not gonna do that because I'm lazy. But as I've explained previously, it's not that I don't like backstory in games. I do. I just don't want to read it while I'm playing the game. I want to kill stuff while I'm playing the game. I'll read the backstory at other times. So I read about this quest on its Wikipedia page. I know what's going on in this vault. I'm just not going to read that shit while I'm in here. Instead, I'm going to kill people. I've already read it. But yeah, like sandbox games for me, I want there to be a purpose. And so Fallout 4, you know, they add this little mini like sandbox building game. And for me, there's just not enough purpose to it. It's like, why am I building these settlements? Do I gain any benefit from it? I mean, I guess I have little home bases, and I can use them to bomb people if I want to, or get aid by shooting up flares. But I don't really need aid or bombing. Like, it's fun. I don't need it. I don't really need bases all over the Commonwealth. You know, just having the one is enough. So I need to find the lab access card. And so there just isn't really enough reason for me to do it. And so, it's not that I don't build settlements up, I do. I just don't do them very well. I don't put much effort into it. I kind of just plop stuff down wherever, you know, pile up all the beds in one area, pile up all the defenses in one area, that sort of thing. I did a little bit more of it with Wasteland Workshop. I did start laying out some cages and stuff. I haven't actually like built any arenas, which I know is like the point sort of Wasteland Workshop. But even that for me, it's just like, yeah, I can set up fights between monsters. I guess that's cool. I'd actually rather kill them myself, though. Just saying, you know.
Let's see if they left anything useful for us.
Poisoner's combat knife. So this is a little bit of a random aside, but I would really like a new legendary weapon. That's relevant to my interests right now. I've used this freezing hammer for a long time. It's good. I love it, honestly. I want to mix it up, though. You know, I feel like now's the time to mix it up. So, you know, if any of you, for some reason, have control over what weapons are spawning, I would ask you that you exercise that control and get me a cool legendary weapon, you know? I think, ideally, it would be probably a super sledge of some sort, although it doesn't need to be, honestly. Like, if it was cool enough, like, I haven't looked through the list of legendary weapons recently, but I would switch to something weaker than this at this point. Because, yeah, combat is pretty trivial at this point. I would switch to a weaker weapon if its enchantment was cool enough. Now, what counts as an enchantment that's cool enough? I don't know. I would actually like a Chinese sword or a revolutionary sword. A nice enchanted one of those. That would be cool. Like I said, I don't really know what I want. Just that I want it. Wounding doesn't do it for me. I've read on, like, you know, online sites that, oh, wounding's the best enchantment you can get on a weapon. I find that bullshit, to be honest. Like, maybe it's just the way I play, but, like, usually any given enemy is killed before I get out of a single VAT sequence, and that single VAT sequence is enough or like it doesn't, enough time doesn't go by in that single VAT sequence for the wounding to do anything. And so for me, wounding and by extension poisoning is completely pointless. You know, there's no advantage conveyed by them.
Let's rock.
I did just teleport up on top of a level. Why did I pick up that power fist, and why are there so many people with power fists here? Now, of course, I did just find a poisoner's knife, so I could switch to that, but I have a better knife. How do I get up there? Also, I guess he's shooting at Deacon. Since I'm not sure how to get up there, let's instead shoot him with my explosive shotgun. Ooh, staircase. Oh, it was like a swing set. So yeah, this vault is like for kids only. That's its thing. That's the trick. I feel like I was talking about something and now I don't remember what. Oh yeah, wanting a cool new weapon. See, I don't really know what I would want exactly. Just something, you know. Comfy pillow. I feel like the enchantments and modifications on melee weapons are just generally less exciting than those on guns. I mean, they're definitely less expansive. There's fewer of them on any given weapon, on any given, you know, which, you know, makes sense. Most people playing this game use guns, but as someone who generally only plays melee, for me it's kind of like, I want more. I'd love to have more. In particular, I would like variety. I would like it so that I have multiple options and it makes sense to, you know, do different things or choose different things for different occasions. My previous playthrough of this, I only really had one weapon. I changed weapons throughout the game, but like I only carried one weapon with me. I just figured out what weapon was the best and I carried that weapon with me all the time. This game, I'm being a little bit less like that. You'll notice I have 3 melee weapons with me. Lucky Severs, Mr. Stabby, and Hammer Time. However, although apparently I traveled to Warwick Homestead, although I guess that's what happens when they successfully defend themselves and you're gone. So I guess that's one big reason to do Salmons, is you'll just randomly get experience for doing nothing.
With skills like that, remind me to show you a couple places.
I feel like, again, I was talking about something and then lost track of my thoughts because I started looking at that terminal. Well, I was saying that that's why it's useful to have settlements. I was also talking about what weapon I might want. I feel like I could make that jump. Indeed I can. Now the question is was I supposed to make that jump? Or is there like some other way up here? I feel like there's probably some other way up here.
No use, not without a card.
So I need to find these 2 access cards. I guess I should try to go to where the little marker says and see what the marker is for. It's probably for one of these access cards. Excuse me.
That was Big Maybell.
So yeah. Oh, I remember. I was talking about melee weapon customization. So as someone who
Don't have the card.
basically only uses melee weapons, I would like more customization, more opportunity to do cool
Some or
stuff.
all of you may have heard of that old Parsons Asylum in the Northeast. You may also know. Stay away from it. I guess no one told you the raiders. That might be the place.
Okay, this is pretty silly.
overflowing with raiders right now. It's empty.
I think he's a little tough to be shooting with my untrained explosive shotgun.
Got what they wanted.
It's fun in certain circumstances, but not
Given how
when
creepy that place was, can't help but
it's
wonder
doing nothing.
if something else happened.
Okay,
We may never know for sure. You know what?
somebody's shooting at me.
That's okay with me. Here's Uranium Fever by Elton Bridge. Catch it.
And you might be like, okay, what are you talking about? Well, so for example, the Super Sledge has both a heated option and a stunning option, which is cool. However, the stunning option does more damage than the heating option. It also has a chance to stun people. There is just no reason to ever use the heated option once you've unlocked the stunning option. It's strictly better. And I don't find that interesting. Like,
You see where
I'm
I'm going with this, right?
glad they have a series of upgrades, but I would rather have excuse me, variety in what the ultimate upgrades are and whether they're good or not and that sort of thing. So, you know, maybe have an improved heating option that does slightly more damage than the stunning option, but the stunning option still stuns. And then it's like, oh, do I want more damage or do I want the stunning? You can also add other things. Have explosive Super Sledge that has really high knockback. But either doesn't have a downside, but it could also have a downside. You could say really high knockback, but it damages you every time you swing it. Would I use that weapon? Honestly, probably not. Just because of the damaging yourself, that would get frustrating. If it was just really high knockback, though, I would. Even if it did less damage than other Super Sledges, I'd at least consider it. I mean, it'd be really funny. If nothing else. So I think there's an enemy, like, on top of here. Which, there must be some way to get up there. So the first couple times I streamed Fallout 4, I got, I mean, not a lot of people watching me, but a decent amount. You know, I sometimes attract up to like 7 viewers. I seem to be getting a lot fewer these days. I wonder if that's like the people who watch Fallout 4 have learned that I'm a bad streamer. Or if it's, you know,